Freshwater, a beautiful location, and we've got waves, which is going to make for some exciting racing.
It makes racing all the better. We started off with the Ironwoman semi-finals, the first one, and I guess the key to semi-final racing is doing enough to get through, but making sure you book yourself a place in that final.
You want to be in that top 8, Josh. At the end of the day, you want your ticket into that final, like you said.
Well, it's an interesting list of semi-finalists here, a big mix of youth and experience. The Northern sisters are here, a couple of the young guns, Gemma Smith, and then we see one of the more experienced competitors, Bonnie Hancock, making her first Summer of Surf debut right here at Freshwater Beach after a couple of years out of the sport. She'll be a real dark horse in this semi-final.
She certainly is a dark horse, Josh, but she also is one of the best athletes we've seen over the past few years. It's going to be interesting to see how she goes, having that time away, getting back into it here today.
Back with a different club, formerly of Northcliffe, alongside sister Courtney Hancock, now racing in the yellow, white and blue cap of Kurrawa, doing a little bit of coaching there as well. So it's do as I do, not as I say at the moment for Bonnie Hancock, and we just see the girls pop up on the way out. Gemma Smith's in there, Carly Nervin and Harriet Brown, I think, is leading at the moment. So some of the big guns of the Summer of Surf in the last couple of years, a couple of the girls who've dominated many of the events, especially the Ironwoman. Carly Nervin was the woman of the series last year, that's for sure, and she's showing why here today, out in front early with a young gun, Gemma Smith, right on her tail.
It's super important for these girls, Josh, that they set it up from the beginning. They work to get themselves to the back of this break as quick as possible, allowing them to relax. They're in the swing of things, they know what they want to do, and they're going to put themselves in that top 8.
Conditions here at Freshwater Beach, it's only a small beach, 2 big headlands on either side. That surf really funnels into the centre at the moment and creates a big swell on most days here. So a lot to contend with early on. It's a long break, and especially on the ski and board legs. Those craft legs will be all important here today. Managing yourself in and out, making sure you get to the beach with relative ease.
Course management and skills are going to be the big things that come into play here today, and the person that gets it right, the person that makes the least mistakes, is going to be the one out in front.
Well, the person getting it right at the moment is the one we called Bonnie Hancock at the bottom of the screen there, the yellow cap on the right-hand side. It looks like Harriet Brown's in the mix, and then Carly Nervin on the left. So they're our 3 leaders at this point. Gemma Smith is pushing hard in the back as the girls go under one more wave, and have a look at the difference in colour there. That's where the girls exit the bank and the wave zone and get into the deeper water. They'll get themselves swimming and head out to the cans. Swim, board, ski, that will be our order today. It'll be the order you'll see all day long. We've got the women's second semi-final coming up a little bit later on, then the men's semi-finals, and then we'll come back for the big ones with the final that everybody wants to win. Harriet Brown out in front. Nice long stroke there from Harriet. And how dark does that water get there, Jack? It's nice and deep, allowing a lot of swell to come through and create some powerful waves.
Yeah, Freshwater Beach, Josh, as you said earlier, is a beach that does produce some really good swell, and that's going to make for really good racing today here for these girls. We watch them go around the cans now. We see Bonnie Hancock, and I think it's Carly Nervin there. They're using that wash of Harriet Brown. They're sitting on her feet, sitting nice and close. They want to allow her to drag them around, not work too hard, and then pounce when they get into the wave zone.
We can see the water in front of Harriet Brown there, all nice and clear, no drama at all, but behind it there's a line of white water where it's been splashed up. That water's moving, that's heading the same direction as the girls. You want to be in that water, it's pulling you forward, and we can see the whole line. They're in Indian file the whole way down the cans there, making sure they get the best run. They'll make their way around the final green and gold can and head back to the beach, and this is where things start to get interesting. You've got to get yourself far enough out in front to make sure you get your own wave, but you don't want to let one smash on the top of you if you miss it. And it looks like a small gap's just opened up with our 3 leaders here at the moment. Harriet Brown in first place, hasn't had the Summer of Surf she would have liked so far. Normally one of the more regular podium finishes in the Ironwoman, hasn't finished on the podium so far this summer. She'll look for a big one here with only 3 rounds left. It's moving time in terms of the overall point score.
Not what we're used to seeing, Josh, from Harriet, but I'm sure she's ready to have a big one this weekend.
She looks like she is at the moment out in front. Carly Nervin just swims up alongside her, really pushing hard at the moment, and we can see how tight those girls get in together. There's no love lost here. They're really all over each other. It doesn't matter that it's semi-final racing. You want to make sure you're out in front. As we see a couple couple of the little waves start to push, but not a whole lot on offer for our leaders at the moment. Then in second place, the Noosa cap there of Lana Rogers doing well in fourth. It looks like a small gap's opened up into fifth with Gemma Smith chasing hard as well, one of the breakout stars of this year's Summer of Surf. The girls push on the way home. The Manly cap, the North Burleigh cap, but there's a wave on the front. There's a wave on the front. Bonnie Hancock's down it. Harriet Brown's down it, but Carly Nerthen misses out. So not surf skills that you want there from Carly Nerthen, but have a look at Bonnie Hancock in the yellow cap on the right-hand side. It's like she hasn't had a day off. Back to the future for Bonnie Hancock there. Harriet Brown just does it a little bit longer. Great performance from these two out in front, and this will set up their semi-final.
Well, Josh, that's a wave that Carly Nerthen should have got down. The other two did, and you have a look now at the gap they've opened up just by getting their skills right and holding that wave all the way to the beach.
The girls make their way up and around the transition, and have a look at Freshwater. They've really put on a show here for our budding surf stars. Harriet Brown in 1, Bonnie Hancock in 2 in her first race in 18 months. What a performance so far. Well, a few of the officials in the road there, but it's only the semi-finals. The girls are all right. They'll make their way out on the board, head around, come in for the ski, and then it is on to the final. 1 and 2, Bonnie Hancock and Harriet Brown make their way out the board, and this is how you really want to set up a race. Hannah Scully from Northcliffe, the under-17, she'll head around in 3rd. Carly Nerthen after that little mistake on the wave there in 4th. It looks like Jade Mickle from City of Perth and Lara Rogers, from Noosa. So these girls are in 4, 5, 6 and 7. Kira Kinsey, a little bit of work to do, and then a big gap back to 9, 10 and 11. That's the difficult part. That's the red zone, the part you don't want to be in, outside of the semi-final spots, as our leaders just go up and over a few waves that start to funnel through Freshwater.
Well, these girls want to do the work through this break, Josh. They've set it up very well in the swim. They want to make sure they work now. Amy Nerthen's one that's stuck behind, and she's certainly in the red zone. She's going to have a crack to get through this break and catch up, close that gap on the girls in front.
If you stop the race now, Amy Nerthen would be out. She is one of the most experienced competitors in this semi-final, and she is sitting outside the top 10 after the first leg. Luckily for her, she's a great board paddler, great ski paddler, and there's plenty of time to get back in it, but there's a lot of work to be done, and you don't want to give these young girls an opportunity.
You don't want to give anyone a head start, Josh, particularly not in conditions like this. If you cop one on the bank, someone else slides through, your race is almost over.
Lana Rogers there heads out to sea, but our 2 leaders are in green water. Our 2 leaders are in green water. Bonnie Hancock has not missed a beat in her first race back. Harriet Brown looks very comfortable on her wash, though. We know Harriet Brown is one of the most devastatingly good board paddlers in the surf, and we know she's just going to get herself around, manage the lead, and make sure it doesn't reduce through this leg.
Well, Harriet Brown makes it look easy, Josh. She gets those big, long levers out. She allows that board to run. But Bonnie Hancock, the dark horse we spoke about at the start, isn't allowing Harriet to have it all her own way out here at Freshwater.
Forget the commentator's curse. Bonnie Hancock is making us look like absolute superstars. We knew she was going to be a little bit rusty in her first race back, but no dramas at all in semi-final number 1. Carly Nerthen's doing it easy as well, and then the rest of the field chasing hard behind her. Lana Rogers is there, Hannah Scully. It looks like Gemma Smith as well. So a couple of the young guns, and this is what the Summer of Surf's about, pitting the young guns against the established stars and giving everybody an opportunity to prove just how good they are.
Well, we've seen it all year so far, Josh, in the Summer of Surf. These young guns have been ones that have really taken a step up, and they've really taken it to their older competitors. They're not afraid to get out there and have a crack, and they've got nothing to lose. They go out there, race these older girls, and show them what they're made of.
They're really showing these girls what they're made of. Our 2 leaders pick up a wave. Harriet Brown, Bonnie Hancock on a wave out in front, and the lead grows from maybe 10 metres. It'll be now 50 to 100 metres, and that's what you get. Reward for effort here, reward for effort out in front. They've got themselves a wave, and Carly Nerthen is wondering how much that little mistake in the swim is going to cost her. She's back on a wave for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, and potentially could be in the red zone after this ski leg, but not these 2 out in front. Bonnie Hancock, the blue board, yellow cap. Harriet Brown, yellow board, white cap. She's up and away. Then we've got 3, 4 on the wave behind. It looks like Hannah Scully, Lana Rogers, Gemma Smith's there as well. They are in 3, 4 and 5 as Harriet Brown takes a quick look around. And now, is it time for conserving your energy, making sure you get through, or do you still have to fight at this point of the race?
We've got 6 there out in front, Josh, so 6 running around the transition. As long as these girls can get out clean on the ski, they get themselves to the back of the break, then they've got time to sit back and relax. You've got to remember they've got to get this big 18-foot ski around that course and on the way home, keep it straight. A lot of the girls will struggle in the surf to try and keep that ski straight. If they do, that then could cost them a spot in the final as well.
They're only little girls, and these are big, tough skis to get moving and get them around the cans. But Bonnie Hancock straight to the front, then running around the flags, chasing hard. Caitlin Matushka's there. It looks like Amy Nerthen's back, so she is in the red zone at this point. She is in a tie for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Only 2 from this group will go through if it keeps going this way. And oh, the swell starts to come. Harriet Brown a little bit shaky there, so she gets up and over and through. We can see the concentration, and in the background, Gemma Smith's off. So Gemma Smith's off, and she opens the door ever so slightly for the chasers. Harriet Brown sits up. Waves are coming. There are waves coming now. She puts the power down. You want to hit these waves with speed, don't you, Jack? You don't want to be standing still.
Well, these skis are designed, Josh, to go up and over the waves, but they'll only go up and over if you've got that forward momentum. If you can get that ski up and running, that'll propel you up and over the top of that wave. If you sit back and wait, you'll end up back shotting on the beach.
That is not what you want, and Carly Nerthen has certainly got her ski up and running, as has Lana Rogers there. So what about that? She's gone through from about 6th place all the way into the lead, and Harriet Brown is off. So our early leader has had a lot of trouble there. Normally a bit of a Ferrari through this surf, but she is having all sorts of trouble, and Maddie Pryor from Warilla Barrack Point is taking advantage. It looks like she's worked our way through, so drama here in the semi-finals. Lana Rogers in 1st place from Noosa. The Noosa girls are having a wonderful summer so far with Jordan Mercer and Kirsty Higginson. Amy Nerthen's got a little bit of work to do, but I think those waves have certainly made her job a little bit easier. Bonnie Hancock, Carly Nerthen tucked in equal 2nd place there. So these 3 are pretty comfortable, but there's a long way to go still, Jack. That we saw in the last couple of rounds, especially at Thirroul when the surf got big, even Torquay as well. It's managing the ski on the way home. You've got to be able to get the ski to the beach straight, not slew, not end up giving yourself a 2nd swim leg, because that is the last thing you want at this point.
That is certainly not what you want, Josh. You want to stay on your ski. You want to ride that ski all the way to the beach. As we see Lana Rogers pick up a little runner there, that's going to give her a little advantage on those girls chasing behind, but she doesn't want to get stuck in the wave zone, end up too close in without being on one of these green waves.
A little bit of pressure for Harriet Brown. We see it on her face. Small mistake coming off her ski has put her back close to the red zone, and out to sea is really where it matters. Amy Nerthen, she is in the mix as well at the moment. She's got to get to the beach, but Lana Rogers has found herself a wave, and she's out in front. This is the best performance we've seen from her in the entire summer of surf so far. She's taken it to the rest of the field as Carly Nerthen just looks around. A couple of the girls sit up and let the wave go. She'll paddle sideways and get herself back onto this one in a little... Oh, no, she'll sit up and let it go. Will she so? Will that pay off for Carly Nerthen? It doesn't matter for Lana Rogers. She will cruise to the beach. Charlene Kelly will pick up her ski, and this will be her first time as a winner in the summer of surf, but it's only a semi-final, Jack. She's still got the big one to go. Harriet Brown comes down a wave as Lana Rogers trains with Jordan Mercer and Kirsty Higginson under the tutelage of Darren Mercer up at Noosa. Bonnie Hancock, what a return to the summer of surf for her.
Very well done, Bonnie Hancock, and well done, Lana Rogers. If she can repeat that effort in the final, Josh, it'll be the best race of her life.
Unbelievable from her. And now the race is on, and there's skis going everywhere, so this is where it starts to get interesting. We've got 2 across the line. Bonnie Hancock very happy with her performance. We'll have to see who gets up the beach next. The girls start to make their run, and there's skis all over the place. We're going to have an upset here, I think. We're definitely going to see a couple out. It's Caitlin Matushka. Where's she come from? Caitlin Matushka will finish 3rd. Harriet Brown's in the mix. Gemma Smith's in the mix. But who will miss out? I think 1 or 2 is going to miss out. Maddie Pryor's across the line there as we take a look at the final results. Upsets are plenty in semi-final number 1. Lana Rogers, Bonnie Hancock, Caitlin Matushka, Brown, McMahon, Smith, Nerthen and Pryor are through, but have a look over the page. These girls will not be in our Ironwoman final. The big names, Jordan White, Amy Nerthen and Taylor Piscaric,